Hello, welcome to Digital Scrapbooking with Affinity. My name's Angela, and I've had some requests in my gallery over at TheLilypad on how to colour in a digital stamp so that it looks like it's done using a marker pen. So we're going to do that now. This is from an stamps image pack that I picked up a few weeks ago. I've not done this one before, and it's quite nice and summery because we're in the middle of the summer here in England at the moment. When I'm colouring in, I like to use something from the kit that I'm working with, from the digital scrapbooking kit, to pick my colours. And some of the designers create a solids papers pack preview to come with their papers. So those are a perfect way of making sure that my colours match. And because I'm going to be swapping between the layers tab and the brushes tab, to make things easier, I'm going to grab hold of this brushes tab and pull it into this space here. Now it's easier to see my brushes and still see my layers. Now when you're using normal physical media, whether it's watercolors, pens, pencil crayons, or whatever, you get different effects, and you can mimic these with digital art. And in Affinity we have lots of brush sets that will mimic different painting and drawing mediums. So you can get some amazing brush sets that can make things look much more realistic and much more professional if you want to. But I'm just going to use the ones that come with Affinity today. So I'm going to use the markers set. And there's a whole collection of different types of marker pens you can use. And I'm going to use the round felt pen. And we'll need to use the paintbrush tool. Now, if I paint now, I'm going to paint on top of that preview, which I don't want to do. Actually, I'm going to relock it. We're going to be working in the Pixel Studio. So if you're in Vector, switch over to Pixel. And I'm going to select the paper layer that I'm working with. And I'm going to create a pixel layer. That's this checkerboard here. Create a new pixel layer underneath that stamp, but on top of the paper. And that's what I'm going to paint on now. I'm going to use my dropper colour to come and collect this blue. I'm going to paint with this blue to colour in the shirt. Now we're just going to show you how this paintbrush works, and then we'll undo it and start again just to show you. So I'm holding down the mouse key and painting with it, and I'm getting a solid block of colour. Even if I go across the top, it's exactly the same. Let go of the mouse button, and then I click on it again, it goes over the top, so like it's a separate layer. So if you were using wet on dry and making multiple layers with your marker pens, that would be that effect. So let's just undo that. Undo is Control Z. Undo is your friend. And we'll just start colouring in the shirt. So I'm going to keep the mouse button down while I colour in the shirt. If you go over the lines, don't worry about it. It's digital. We can rub it out. Right, so keeping the mouse button down so the colour is solid. I'm just going to colour in this. Okay, so there's the shirt coloured in with a nice solid colour. I've let go of the mouse button, and now when I paint again, it's going to be darker. So now I'm thinking, where's the light coming from? Let's have her facing into the sun. So let's say the sunlight's coming from over here. That means that this part of the shirt here is going to be lighter than this part. So let's just go over the bits that are going to be darker. So everything around the back is definitely going to be darker. Don't worry about going over the edge, that's not a problem. And then the bits just underneath that collar. And then maybe this bit that's on the inside of this collar and underneath there. And coming in. And then again, the darker bit around the back, across the top. And this section under here. Right, that's all nicely how I want to have it, but I'm thinking I probably need a little bit of shading in here. So let's just bring a little bit in here. And a little bit. Right, now I'm going to switch to the eraser brush, which is underneath paintbrush. And then we'll just go in and remove those bits where we went over the edge. If you want a softer colour change between the different layers of pen, you can do that by experimenting with different brushes, because some will give a stronger, darker mix than others. So, but my marker pens, I always have very straight coloured blocks between the colours, so that's what I'm going with for my painting here. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to create a new layer, and this time I'm going to colour the face. So let's take my colour picker and go for this off-white to start with, and I'm going to have two brushes selected. I'm going to collect this sort of pinky colour here. So starting with that lighter colour, going to make sure I've got the paintbrush and not the eraser, and then fill in this with the off-white, and then going over again all the bits that are going to be in shade, so the bit that's directly under the hat and the neck. I'll erase those bits where I've missed in a minute. Now I'm going to give her a little bit more colour with that other brush, but I'm going to do it on another layer. So I'm going to take the checkerboard, create a new layer, new pixel layer, and now I'm just going to bring in some of that colour in here. Now it looks a bit garish right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the layer selected, and I'm going to go to where's the opacity, and I'm going to reduce it down. So there's just a hint of that colour. Then get that eraser tool and erase those bits that I'm. So let's go for the hat next. Right, using the checkerboard to do a new pixel layer, I'm going to take these tan two colours here. I want to go for a yeah, this colour here, I think, for a straw. We'll have a straw hat. Paintbrush, still using that round felt pen. And now we're going to go for the darker sections again. Now I'm just noticing that that darker section is quite saturated, and I don't want to bring more saturation in there, so I'm just going to undo what I just did. That's Control Z, and then I'm going to create a new layer. Well, this is going to look quite dark right in when I first start, but we will adjust the opacity in a minute. So with the paintbrush, I'm actually going to take this dark grey and I'm going to colour in this back section with the dark grey. And then I'm going to reduce that opacity down so that we've got a darker brown there for that shading. And let's just erase the bits where I missed. So there we go. Fairly basic colouring in of the girl as if it's a brush marker. Right, let's colour in this oval behind her. I'm going to use the bigger brush. We'll go for that round watery felt brush. And I think we'll go with this sort of teal. Selecting the paper so that I'm painting underneath the girl's layers. And then let's digital painting is so much more forgiving than painting with physical paints and physical pens, because if you make mistakes it's just so much easier to undo them or erase them. So eraser pen. So you notice I've still got that smaller brush. And I think we'll finish off by colouring that hair a bit. Go with that colour that we got that back part of the hat in, but make it darker. So we've got some sliders here, we can just make that darker. And go back to my round felt pen. There we go. Thank you for watching. And if you would like me to demonstrate anything else, or if you want me to show you colouring techniques with a different medium like watercolours or oils or acrylics or spray painting, it's all sorts of different types and styles of painting that you can do digitally. So if there's anything you want me to demo, let me know. Blessings. Bye.